Oh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Action Packed Thrill Ride. I'm Eamon Hardiman.
I'm Scott Gregg.
I'm Missy Dawn.
And you're about to get fucking action packed. He's probably the loudest he's ever been at this moment.
Because I'm always just like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool, man.
Right. I'm like, hey, Scott, did you see that thing?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, so you can never hear me. I don't know why.
Right.
Well,
And
It's
then,
because
so-
I fucking whisper for some reason.
yeah.
Well, it's okay. I mean, I'm good being over here.
It's a careless whisper, some might say.
Mm,
Wow.
It is.
Can you sing
actually.
that?
Careless whisper, it's a song, and I don't know how it goes, but it's careless indeed. It's not a talking, it's slower than talking, it's a whisper, and it's between you and me. It's
It's
careless.
between the sheets.
Between the sheets, it's whisper.
Whisper.
Isn't that how it goes?
I think so.
And then
Yeah.
that final snap
It
is
had
what
to get
really
the last.
sits in
That's when you know.
Right. So this is Action Packed Thrill Ride. This is a podcast that we did for a very long
We
time
did.
that you can find on the Infrawebs and on iTunes. If you want to subscribe to that, there will not be probably ever any
And there's like
updates.
there's an app, actually. I don't remember what it's called. But it's
We
like
do
some-
have our own
It's like
app.
some weird podcast app thing, and you
Mhm.
can search for it.
Wait, are you serious?
I'm serious.
So we're on some
Wait,
sort
what's
of
this
app.
weird
I don't-
app that we have?
Hold on. I can
Oh,
pull it up.
God,
It's like
yeah.
Well,
a
I
pink,
mean, we're not going to get into
it's
it.
like a
but
pink or
Doesn't
purple.
matter.
let's-
So we're not
I
on.
wasn't
We're not on
serious.
Podbean.
Of course we're not.
we used to be on Podbean,
but they took us off.
and then we decided just to
'Cause
go straight to
It's just called
iTunes.
podcasts. Actually, it's like a
Oh,
it's like a
that's great.
purple thing.
You
You
and
know,
look
is
for
that
Action
your
Pack.
go-to podcast app? Because I like
No.
Podcast Addict.
We're actually
That's
on.
mine.
We're on an app.
It's called
That's good.
podcasts.
Well, that's very
podcast
simple.
And it's
app.
like
They
a
were
purple
very creative
thing with
with it.
Yeah.
the podcast. I don't know.
With the radio
Some sort
waves
of
going out.
wibbly wobbly
Yeah.
thingy that happens.
My
so-
favorite podcast app is Podcast Addict.
Oh.
What? I'm talking about podcasts.
Why don't we not sell other people's products?
It's a free app.
Actually, we're sponsored, which is the funny thing. And I was waiting and saving this until now, but we are sponsored by Podcast Addiction, the app. Is that what it's called?
No, it's Podcast Addict.
Tell us about it.
Okay, it's just an app where you search and you can get all your favorite podcasts. It's amazing. Like, I love it. I listen to everything on there, like Locked Up Abroad, Sword and Scale, NPR. What are you falling asleep?
And
Everybody
all podcasts. basically, are available.
yeah, all of them are available there. So you should
I
check it out.
use Google Play Music.
Do you think it's weird that like there's podcasts
Which you
that are
told
on
me about.
multiple
Yes.
platforms?
Mm-hmm.
Because like we're on
How
that
do they
weird
ma-
podcast thing. We're not on Podbean anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll search for like Sword and Scale. It's on Podbean. It's on your podcast. It's
Yeah.
on iTunes. But it
Right.
might not be on something else. It's weird.
Yeah, maybe the other things are hosting through Podbean though.
Oh, it could be.
I know, like Libsyn
Or
is a
they're-
big one.
They're echoing their hosting through some of these other things, maybe, and then they wind
Now,
up on a network.
The app that I have, Podcast Addict, I mean, there is at the very bottom, there's a scrolling ad.
Oh,
The whole time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't bother me or it doesn't bother your playback or anything.
Uh-huh.
It's just they have a constant advertisement, and I think that's how they can host or whatever. I mean, I never get on anything I listen to, it doesn't specifically mention that application.
So there's
to
no
use.
actual audio. It's just
Right.
No audio
Just
for
visual?
the ad, just visual.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is really cool, I think. I mean, that's great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think as technology and more people get into it, I mean, there's going to be even more applications that do just something similar to that, where you just have to endure, like,
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
something
right.
at the bottom or whatever.
We've got some people in the chat, by the way, if you want to. I'm
Oh.
sorry to interrupt you, but we do have some chat. Sorry, guys. We were not checking out the chat there. What's up?
Hey,
What's
it
going
looks
on,
like,
guys?
I think Avery is here.
Horrifier, what's going on,
And-
man?
What's up,
Good to
Avery?
see you
Good to see you
back.
back.
How's it going? Taking a break from Splatoon 2, so thank you. I don't know what our actual our headline might actually still say that we're playing.
We were going to
Splatoon
play
2.
Okay,
Splatoon 2, but we couldn't get online with it.
I don't know what they're doing,
having
like a server update or something. It's that happens, I guess, and then
yeah,
you
you know what else happens sometimes?
What's that?
Chicks have dicks.
But apparently they can't get into the army.
Not in the military.
No.
Which is ridiculous, by the way.
That's just insane.
Stupid.
I don't even want to talk about it.
I don't either. It's so dumb. It's the dumbest thing.
I'm not a fan right now of our
I
government.
feel like if you can make incredibly engaging and compelling pornographic films, then you should be capable of fighting for our country.
Sure.
Well, I think anybody. It doesn't matter what you do.
No, I'm just saying if you're if you're able.
If you're able to protect somebody that's with you in a, what do they call them? The platoons or the squads or the fucking whatever. Yeah.
It doesn't
why would
matter.
You,
it does not matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't, and that's the whole thing.
That's why Vietnam helped a lot of relations with African Americans because they
desegregated.
At the time they were, yeah. So
the military. I
once
believe.
that
I
happened,
don't know when that was.
A lot of weird redneck assholes were like, "These guys are good. They're protecting me. I'm protecting them," and that's you just mix people in those certain situations.
Well, because then you can actually get to know somebody and appreciate somebody without having it be, hey, this is a foreign thing,
right? And
I don't understand this, and it's not
right
what I'm used to. It's like, you know what? I can't deal with. I could go on about this, and I don't want our podcast to turn into
my problem
a political
is I don't either
banter.
But real quickly, I've never had a problem with people like that, any kind of person, unless they're an asshole. If you're an asshole, I don't care. I don't want to be next to you.
Right.
So I don't care if you're what color or what gender or whatever. If you're nice and cool and we can relate, I'm cool with it. But if you're just an asshole or snarky, then I'm keep all these snarky assholes away from me.
Right.
But, so
I feel like we just we grew up probably meeting a lot of people who were not necessarily from our particular group or whatever, and it's horror fans and
sure.
and it definitely every time I see weird hate shit from gamers, I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, because gamers,
you have
play with
every world and type of person and whatever open to you, and you're experiencing that all the fucking time. It's how can you be a fucking piece of shit?
Yeah.
And it's really weird that anybody of a younger generation would be full of hate or any kind of weird fucking shit or wanting to exclude anybody from anything. But it does happen a fucking lot.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. It's strange.
And if you don't grow up with it, and I feel like we did not. We didn't grow up with
I mean, I grew up with a lot of racism. I grew up with a lot of homophobia.
I'm talking about we didn't grow up with
gay was an insult when I was a kid. You know what I mean? It's you're fucking gay, man. That was the worst thing you could say to somebody.
But once you realize
no,
that's
I'm not. Then you get older, you're like, what the fuck? That was
people
funny.
are people, man.
Yeah.
As long as they're not an asshole, I don't care.
Right.
If you fuck me over or you're an asshole, then I'll hate. I'll throw some hate on you, but I don't really care what you do in your personal life. It's whatever.
Yeah, because it's none of anybody's business.
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe we're being led by a lot of people who are very old and from a different fucking time. You know
and
what I mean?
If,
I think we need some younger people running our country.
Yeah, I agree.
Who aren't hung up on these weird, outdated fears and
I don't really want to
ideals.
There might be some fear, say if you're a young kid and you grow up in whatever society, Christian society, you're gonna have some fears and stuff going into this, just meeting people. But once you do, you're these people are all right.
So what Scott's saying is he hates
quickly,
gay people.
I don't hate anybody.
I mean,
but you realize
he tells
quickly
us this a lot, so
you can kind of tell when a person is shitty.
That he hates. I'm sorry.
Seriously, you can tell.
I'm sorry. No, he's giving a speech.
You can tell when a person is shitty and when they're not.
I think you're right.
If somebody fucks you over, then fuck them. But
I like how he looked directly at me when he was like, "You can tell when a person's shitty."
Yeah. Well,
But
you
that
guys
wasn't
have a
what I
social
meant.
relationship.
Eamon, pardon.
That's true.
No, but I mean, like, this is relevant, and it's what's going on right now. And, you know, like, earlier today I was looking through...
Sorry.
I was looking through all these articles, and everything just kind of made me upset. Like, it really depressed me, because I was like, why? Why is this happening right now? Like, we've come, I feel like we've come far, and now we're just going backwards, and it just seems...
I don't know. Well, we were talking earlier about... No, I completely get... I'm sorry to interrupt, but I completely get what you're saying, and I think it does tie into something earlier. I'm just trying to angle us slightly back to something to where it doesn't make people hate us. I want to listen to this.
Well, don't hate us.
But
just, you know,
I was saying, like, we are going backwards in a lot of ways. Like, I just saw a black exploitation film, like, advertised on TV.
I don't think that's
called.
I don't think that's going back, though. I think that
it seems like we're going back to eras of. I mean,
that
and
to
I
me is
also
cool.
saw a Bruce Lee film
Yeah, I
like
think
that they're
that's
making
cool as well.
advertised that seems a little bit like it's also kind of like if it had come out in that time, you would be like, okay, that's like an Asian
I
exploitation.
think also like it's a good time to come out with that stuff because they're hot topic issues again, or like hot button issues for some reason. It's like because
Right.
Trump's president and like everybody's like on edge on everything. So
Okay, I try to angle it out.
I know
from
you did, but I'm saying
political,
like,
and then he's like, and fucking Trump.
no. I'm just saying that everything is now like anything that somebody says now is taken. You'll have people like trolling you and stuff,
Yeah.
which is weird, but I don't know.
Well, you have it
I do.
because
I'll
you're-
never have it because I'm never political on Facebook
Oh,
or not anymore.
buddy. Some of you need to look at his
Dude,
fucking Snapchat then.
Oh no, I'm
somebody.
talking about me.
I'm saying you.
My Snapchat?
Yeah, you put like little swastikas on your dick
Stupid.
and then flop it around like
This
a
never
fucking. You do
happens.
the helicopter,
I don't have a
but it's like
swastika.
spinning the swastika, so
You
it
guys are
looks like the
so
blades
weird.
of the helicopter.
Anyway, Avery says, "Hey, Eamon, I'm not sure if you know my Instagram account, but I hope you liked my picture of 4 of your pork chop films, and hope you guys also liked it."
Yeah, I did see that.
I
Thank
did.
you so much, man. That was fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
that was awesome.
I
I,
did-
always
I did-
love
I
it.
should have put a thing on there. If
I saw that
didn't.
too.
I'm sorry.
Eamon doesn't know how to do stuff sometimes, but
Yeah, thanks, man.
no,
I saw
we
that.
appreciate that. I love it. I love seeing pictures of our films, and if anybody has them like that, it really makes my day, honestly. So
Scott
thank
likes
you so
to
much.
put one on his penis and then whip it around like a helicopter.
This is true,
And
actually.
then it's like just
Yeah.
one
Oh.
giant
Mhm.
blade.
Like sometimes I wake up and I'm like, man, I wish I could jerk off. But then I get on Instagram and I see something about like anything I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it fills me
And
with ego, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck
Now
it.
I can come.
I'm just gonna fucking. But I do love it actually. So.
No, it's so awesome.
I know that was a bad taste.
That's how
but-
he assumes I live my life. I
You
feel
do.
that's
Come
what
on.
he's like. He needs that, right? Like, and when he sees that, he fucking just comes extra hard.
Mhm.
I mean, I probably come the hardest when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
There you go.
Yeah.
Really, because I'm
You
the
just
first one to
walking
know.
down the street
I
like,
get like the, I'm like, oh.
And then it's over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's quick release,
Yeah.
but it's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's very easy.
Just enough to get the
Good.
message across.
Easy cleanup, no big
Yeah.
deal. Just
The-
pop into a restroom,
Right. Snap into a Slim Jim.
snap
So,
into a Slim Jim. No.
We've been on a weird kick lately with movies where we wrapped up a horror convention,
Mhm.
and Scott and I spent an extraordinary amount of money
Way too much,
On-
actually.
on Vinegar Syndrome films
Yes.
that, in retrospect, aren't very good.
Well,
I'm gonna be
Okay, so
on.
it's not
I've
their
now
fault.
gone through a couple of them.
But-
I
I wanna
love
say,
that
like-
they're putting them out.
I
But-
think it's awesome. They're putting out their Blu-rays are great. I bought like 3 or 4 DVDs, and I'm like, whoa. I see why they didn't put
Yeah.
these on Blu-ray. They're lost films. I mean, they.
But the
clean
ones that
them
they
up and
do
explain
put
what
on
Vinegar
Blu-ray.
Syndrome is. Then go ahead.
I think Eamon.
Vinegar Syndrome is like a really cool company that basically buys up old grindhouse, mostly porn, salt like the porn from like the art era of porn.
Or like super indie, like VHS movies that came out that were really grainy and you couldn't see what the fuck was going on.
And then they do 2K or 4K restorations and have released most of them on Blu-ray or DVD. And usually with a pretty good special features like set around it. And they definitely have a real love for that era of film and that era of sleaze. A lot of the 42nd Street kind of pornos.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the stuff they can't clean up they put on DVD.
Yeah.
Because it's too...
There's just so much, so much you can do to restore these things. So, and then they take the films, they put them on DVD, Blu-ray, or whatever, and then... Do they give them new covers? What's the deal?
There's some rough shit. But yeah, they'll give them new like covers for the most part, new cover art. Some of it's good, some of it's not great. But they're not doing like Scream Factory art. You know?
Not normally, but their Blu-rays are fantastic, and the DVDs too. They're really good. It's just like.
I mean, there are some.
Are you talking about like just the quality of it is just low because of the way?
Yes.
I mean, and that's
the way
not
their
fault.
No,
yeah.
But they're like.
They're taking
70s and 80s
they're taking
pornos
time
that
like,
I saw when I was
they're
a
taking
kid
like any raw materials
now,
they have and putting it together. Yeah, if it's like on DVD and not on Blu-ray, there's a reason for that. They can only clean it up so much.
Right.
And also maybe the title, but I think they're a smaller company because I know Scream Factory, they have like
I feel like the guy that we bought shit from probably actually works at the company.
He does,
like, and
so I think so put on like a scale. Scream Factory probably has like 80 people working for him, and from what I've heard, like all those 80 people, about 60 people probably see like if a release comes through, they all work on it. That's a lot of hands. That's a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say Vinegar Syndrome is probably in the realm of like 20 people, and then like other smaller companies, maybe,
maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah, I've heard like what was Code Red? I hear it's like 2 people.
Yeah.
Razor Sharp, it's clearly...
it's like 1, 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If we're pushing it. I mean, it's just like, they're indie companies. Even like Scream Factory, like 80 people on a release, I mean, that's a lot, but it's still kind of low if you think about it. Like, it's not like a big budget movie. They're actually taking an old movie that's pretty big and then like buying it and then taking all the elements, putting it together, putting some special features together. There's a lot
I'm
of
sure
hands.
that's interesting, like the legality of it.
Oh yeah,
that would be something that I would be interested in looking more into and like just researching for my own fun.
See, I think you would like that a lot. I think I would be very upset because it's like, oh fuck, these people, like this people, like
it's like
certain people have that. Like, there's probably like 3 or 4 people have this film, and so you have to go through all of them.
Mario Van Peebles have it?
I hope Mario Van Peebles has all the releases, but.
I'm gonna read this. I can't see. My girlfriend Anna Kelly loves your Pork Chop films, and every day when I talk Pork Chop, she goes crazy. But she knows I love Pork Chop so much. Well, we love you too, Anna. Thank you
so much.
Yes.
For supporting what we do. We do really appreciate it, you guys. I don't think.
And we like driving women crazy.
That's true.
That is true.
But yeah, I think that probably they're a lot of the shit they're putting out nobody would ever touch because like a porn company's not going to release one of those old story porns from the 70s or whatever,
which is awesome they do that.
They're so cool. Like and those movies are like really interesting to watch.
It's the weirdest thing because I never thought that I would just sit there and like watch a whole porno.
Yeah.
But like now I'm just like, holy shit!
Like, wait, it's a movie.
This is like weird as fuck, and
it's
like
gross.
Yeah.
Like the sex is like
and then, but
weird
they're also doing shit that
and
you don't see in like new porn, and like it's like weird stuff.
Full making out.
The whole
like,
Pretty Peaches thing, where like they're on this, they used to like oiled up beanbag.
The oiled up beanbag.
Like,
oh wow!
Oh, it'll haunt me forever.
That sounds like fun.
Let's just say it's not erotic. It's not erotic, but
are they just
it's
rolling
gross.
on it?
It's like fake eyelashes are like coming off of the girl's eyes, and
it's,
you're like, that's gonna get in her eye at some point, and I'm worried.
At some
like,
point,
I want her to be okay, and if she needs to call me, I'll get in the fucking DeLorean and go back to the fucking 70s.
At some point, it's so
right
gross that I get into it. It's weird as shit. Like, like, this is kind of cool.
Everyone feels like they need to be
strange,
rescued,
man.
and like it has a very different vibe.
Yeah,
than, like
it's
stuff
very,
of today.
it's
It's a full story. It's a full movie.
Yeah, it's
there
not
was
by
a
the books.
script.
It's
They're
not like,
acting.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's like P and a V.
Yeah.
Just like, now we're going to do an actual story.
Yeah.
There's like weird stuff going on.
It might be 20
there might
minutes
be like
of just
interrupted
dialogue
sex by
and
something. Like it's weird.
yeah, and
but-
build up to what's happening.
So I do enjoy
cool.
like they do that. There's certain like movies they put out, and I'm like, wow, like this is not the best movie, but it's cool to see that
Yeah.
it actually gets released in like a proper format.
Mm-hmm.
Highway was it Highway Horror 5 or
Right.
something like that. I
Highway
bought that.
Horror Hotel 5 or
Yes.
something?
Something.
I wonder what 3 was.
Highway, no, it was just a
I know, I get
They
it.
normal
just-
movie,
they
but-
just kept making them and like, nah, that one's not gonna work. 5 seems alright. Let's put it
And
out.
I
Sounds
love,
like a great
and I love
number.
their like
Let's put it out
description in
for
the back because they
kids.
actually like. I just bought it because like, oh, it's a slasher, and it's like about
Right.
a guy in a Nixon mask. And on the back, the first words were like, one of the most confusing shot-on-video slasher movies ever made.
Oh.
And so I watched them like,
So I have
what
to
the
watch
fuck
that.
is going on? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Then I look at the back and I'm like, oh, well, okay. They actually represented it well because it doesn't make any fucking sense. But
Right.
it is fun and hilarious because it's so, like, stupid. But
Uh-huh.
it's a weird fucking movie.
Is it trying to be stupid though, or is it just super weird and
I
it's
don't know.
not understandable?
I mean, it's like probably like mid-'80s. Like, somebody's like shooting it on a video camera. Like,
Right.
I don't know if they were trying to be serious or not,
Yeah.
but it does
It'd
come
be
off as like,
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
like some of the scenes don't match up. Like,
Yeah.
nothing really makes sense in the plot. Let's say that. And the acting is like terrible, but
Oh my
like,
god.
awesome because it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see this now.
Yeah, I got so much shit, and it's none of it is like extraordinary. And now me kind of thinking back, I'm like, well, fuck. If I was gonna get that stuff, I wish I would have got some of the stuff you got, like Corruption and
Yeah, actually, I
Um,
like that.
yeah, that
'Cause it
always
was a
looked really
weird-
good to me. And
it's a
Pigs
weird,
looked
strange
really good to
movie.
me, and
I watched Pigs on DVD, but not no. I didn't buy that one.
yeah, I got like Malibu High.
I've got that on a DVD.
Ooh,
Um,
man, I went
Ooh.
through
is it not good?
Mm-mm.
See, I have not watched it yet.
There's one girl that's like has sex scenes through the whole thing,
Mhm.
and but her titties are like not like
Their titties are not.
they're not great titties.
Okay.
So like and it's not like hardcore. It's just like
Mhm.
they're like titty scenes or whatever from this one girl the whole time over and over and over and over, and you keep seeing them, and when you see them that many times, you just keep realizing, wow, these aren't the greatest titties ever. So then it's like, if that's your selling point for the movie, is like you got some fucking like subpar titties, like why are we watching
Right.
this fucking, you know?
If that's
So-
what it's all about, yeah.
I mean, they're really like, they're not like the like weird like weird shriveling in certain places, like a water balloon that's like being melted in a microwave, and then like kind of.
What?
But
Okay.
like fucking
What is that?
Those exist. Huh?
we've seen them titties.
Oh.
So okay, if you go
Ooh.
through like all the Blu-ray companies now, like the horror Blu-ray companies, like what's your
Right.
favorite?
Oh, my
Well,
favorite.
you got Scream.
I hate.
You got
No, my
Synapse,
favorite's still gonna
you
be.
got
It's
Blue
always gonna be
Underground.
Arrow.
Arrow.
You know,
Right?
Arrow makes shit that just.
So you think Arrow's better
knocks
than
your
Scream
socks
Factory?
off.
Yes.
I don't know, man.
Yes. No,
I
because
do like some of Arrow releases, but some
they give a fuck about the video transfer, and they
I don't
give
know.
a fuck about the extras, and the packaging used to be on
But so does Scream
point.
Factory.
Not to that degree, man.
And I think to a extent, don't you think Synapse and Blue Underground, they definitely do too.
Arrow Blues, when they were still the UK Arrow,
Mhm.
they treated film as if it was art.
Yeah.
And I think Scream
That's
Factory
true. I do
treats
love
it as if
like
it's
the
like
old
pop
school-
culture shit.
True,
you know?
but like the old school like Arrow cases are awesome, but they don't really do that anymore.
Yeah, I know. And now it's like,
Now it's a
fuck.
sh-
But
So,
like
yeah.
some shit like Society and stuff like that
Mhm.
is, and Bride Reanimator and stuff has like really cool packaging, and they're throwing in graphic novels and shit, and
Yeah.
like it's a pretty nice. I think that's probably overall for what they've done for bringing and restoring the classics of horror cinema.
Yeah. You think Arrow-
I think Arrow has done an incredible fucking job,
Hmm.
to the point where a lot of other companies have been buying the Arrow prints that they already did, and then using those as the fucking, you know, hell of a company. I think they fucked over some people on money. And I'm not sure about all the specifics of that, but
now I know on Amazon, like a lot of the stuff that I'll see pop up is actually like Vinegar Syndrome transfers. So like some of the new movies, like, oh, okay, that's a
right, yeah.
I think that's cool. I think Vinegar Syndrome for like the lowest of low budgets is one of the best companies for that.
Oh, and apparently their Dolomite transfers are incredible. Like their restorations of the Dolomite series are apparently really good.
Out of all the stuff, like the Arrow, the Scream Factory, the Vinegar Syndrome, Synapse, Blue Underground, all that stuff I've seen, Severn, all that stuff is like pretty fucking legit. I've never really seen anything.
Doing great work, man.
Yeah, I've never seen anything that's like, oh, this is not good.
I've seen there's a lot of Scream Factory shit that.
You think they clean it up too much sometimes? Because you said they cleaned it up.
There's some bad stuff.
What was the Craven? Was it Shocker you didn't like? And I loved, but they cleaned it up. Like they took some of the grain out and stuff.
Right. There were a couple that they smoothed the fuck out of. That was like, what are you doing? And then there's some shit where they just add extra like unnecessary grain.
Oh really?
Sorry, I need to peer down here.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Avery says, one time me and my brother tried watching Pork Chop, and he didn't because of how weird and creepy the movie was. So he left the room while I was watching Pork Chop with Anna.
Hell yeah.
Well, then we accomplished our goal.
We accomplished something.
I don't find it creepy.
A lot of people find, especially that first, the scene with the, you know, the whole the pig getting slaughtered, they really get turned off by that.
Oh yeah, well that'll drive
to me,
an
I was
audience
like,
out of
holy
the fucking
shit,
theater.
like, this is fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
We had a screening one time, and a lady came over and like during the screening and sat beside, like, you know, lights are down, movies playing and all that, and she comes over in the middle of the opening sequence, and she goes like, hey, I just need to ask you a question, like, I want to stay here for your movie, but are there any more scenes like this? Because I'm not going to be able to watch this movie. Yeah. And I was like, damn, all right. I guess that we went a little too...
Well, one of the coolest things I've ever experienced
went a little too Uwe Boll.
When we did a free screening at the LaBelle Theater where you get to put on the 3D glasses. And some mom in the middle of the film, there's like a titty scene, like I think Sam.
Oh, that was amazing.
And Kaylee and this mom, and I'm like sitting there like, because, you know, I've watched my death scene, and this is like one of the first movies.
She's like, Michael, are you?
Yeah, she's like, Michael, Janelle, get out here, or something. I don't remember the kids' names. And they come running out, and I had to use the bathroom this time, and I see these kids and their mom is like yelling at them, and like, you get out here right now, you can't be watching this filth.
Right.
And they come out and they're running, and I hear them say like, that was awesome, and they're like 7 to probably like 14, somewhere in that area.
I was in the lobby.
I was just like, yeah, and I walked out, and I was like, that's the coolest thing, and I saw you, and I was like, you're not watching your screening? You're like, no, I don't want to watch it. It's like, well, you should have just saw what happened.
I know.
Like, oh, no, I heard.
When the kids ran out, they looked at me. The kid looked at me and went, that was awesome. Like, that was as he was exiting, I believe. Fucking.
So they got to see some cool deaths and cool, like,
super stoked to see that
as
movie.
A kid, like, to me, as a kid, that would have been, because I've snuck into, like, drive-in theaters because my mom worked at a drive-in theater. When it happened, like, when she didn't know, like, this was a horror film or a nudie movie, and it did happen, it was the coolest thing. Like, I'm like, oh shit, I know that this is like, this is Jason Goes to Hell, because I remember that coming on, and I got kicked out like in the middle of the projectionist like went and told my mom, like, there's gonna be a nude scene coming up, and I'm watching like the whole beginning part, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever, and she's like, guys, you gotta get out. And she like had my dad come and get me, and I was like so mad, and I thought,
it's like that's
this
the
is
best
like,
part
this is
of
like
the
best
too.
movie ever. And then like later on I watched it and I was like, oh, this movie sucks.
Yeah, but it was only that part that was good.
But I was like watching it and I was like, this is the coolest thing. Like, it's Jason and it's like, you know, chicks in a tent. But that stuff happens. But I think those kids will remember that for the rest of their lives.
It looks like Avery says, Eamon, I hope you like my own Pork Chop DVD cover I made.
Yes, I love the DVD cover.
I haven't seen it, I don't think. Have I?
No, I don't think you have seen it.
You'll have to send it to me.
I'll show it to you.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I would definitely love to see that. That would be awesome.
Yeah. The yeah, I love all that. So anytime we get art or anything, I fucking love seeing that stuff. We've gotten so much cool shit. Like,
yeah, we really
over
have.
the years that just is fucking amazing. We'll be at like conventions and people just like bring over like something that they drew of like our characters and be like, here.
Yeah.
It's so fucking cool.
It's
all the time
best.
to see that shit.
It's mind blowing because
if somebody took hours.
Because that's what we're doing basically. That's what we've always been doing. Is doing this reactionary thing to stuff that we saw and enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
So like when
like
people, especially people that actually have artistic abilities and like photoshopping or whatever, when they do stuff like that, it's fucking it's fucking on some next level shit. Makes me very happy. The one of the things that I have been thinking about recently is getting back into the comic book game.
Yep. I saw you bought some Witchblades.
Reading, yes, and I did. I wanted to reread the Witchblade. Every like couple of months, I'm like, I want to read some comics, and I get like deep into some shit. Like the last time was Spider-Gwen.
Oh yeah.
Or no, not Spider-Gwen. Gwenpool.
Okay.
Was the last, and then before that it was Spider-Gwen. But yeah, there would just be something that like catches my fancy.
I've heard that's good, but I haven't read it. So
Gwenpool.
I haven't read Gwenpool
and Spider-Gwen's incredible.
Yeah, I haven't read it either.
They're both like the two things that everybody I think should read right now. But I get into these like comic things or whatever, but it also keeps reminding me about how many times we have wanted to do a comic series or an animated series or something, and it hasn't happened. And I'm never going to stop making movies because that's what we should always be doing. So I'm not going to give that up and just be like, oh, fuck that. I'm just going to do this comic thing because it's easy. But I do feel like there are a lot of ideas that I've always had that I wanted us to be able to develop that there's no fucking way we're going to be able to afford to do or get, all the shit to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, even in a lot of the scripts, I mean, we've all dealt with. And
every movie
has had stuff that we cannot make literally, physically, or just time or resources or money or whatever. It's just there's always major different cool bits that never get actually onto the screen just because of those things, and that's what happens when you deal with filmmaking. I mean, I think on every level, so it's not just indie. I think it's everything, but when you've got Marvel behind you, you can definitely, you've got animated, you've got people that can make that one like crazy weird scene actually come to life. And when you're just an indie film company, you can't sometimes do that, but comics or animation or something like that would be a way to actually translate those ideas into a medium where like it can be can be done.
Oh, yeah. And one of the things is definitely our original script for Zombie Babies.
Yes.
I would love to see.
Or if you think about it, Steve Death Collector.
I don't think Steve would function as well as a comic.
Oh, I was talking about like we didn't just shoot because remember the last part we had like a whole scene.
Oh yeah.
But I think
that whole scene just as a one shot, you mean?
Yeah,
that would be great. Yeah. Oh man, that would be a great one shot.
But it was cool. Oh, that would be a good one shot.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'd love to do a like 12-issue Zombie Babies fucking thing, or a Zombie Babies graphic novel. Yeah. That is like the full script, fucking adapted.
It would be great. It would
with
be
like
great.
some really like crazy art and fucking that'd be cool as shit.
Yeah.
If we can find the guy to do it, that would be killer.
Can
and maybe
you do
that
it?
We should look at that.
Can you?
Who can do it?
If you are an artist that wants to blah blah blah, draw this picture of this clown and send it in, and you can go to the Art Institute of Shithole.
It looks like Avery says that his girlfriend just texted me and wants me to say you're welcome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, Anna, we appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, I think that that might actually be a thing that we maybe. The more I'm saying it, the more I feel like I
I'm
would
just seeing it in my
love
head.
that to
I'm
fucking-
seeing it in my head.
yeah.
I'm seeing a sumo baby like bursting through a fucking, you know, like the diagram of
Right.
where the comic should be, and he's
And there's
outside of
so
it.
that
It's just,
script
it's crazy.
has so many other things that those babies are doing, and there's so much shit about how the master baby is made and all that, and
So none of there was like
Master
somebody was gonna do a comic about pork
Master
chop
baby.
with the like other horror legends. Did that ever come to fruition?
I wish.
Yes,
You know
that
what I'm
did
talking
come
about?
out. Yeah,
Did
I
it really?
never got sent a copy of it, so I don't know what the fuck happened. But
Oh,
I think it
damn.
came
I'd
out.
like to see that.
I don't
Yeah.
even know about that.
I've heard about it. I didn't know if it
Apparently,
actually happened.
we're in the. I think it came out. I don't know. Can we say this? But
Oh,
apparently,
really?
Pork Chop is in the same comic as Hatchet.
Oh, Hatchet. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and a couple of others.
Just
How
hope
in
it
the world
happened.
did we not?
I don't know.
did
If
I
it didn't
not know about
happen,
this?
we've really talked out of church.
Oh, wow.
I did not know about this.
Hey, it was
at
supposed
all.
to, and we were promised that it would happen, right? So
Yes.
fuck it.
Yeah, I think it did. I think so. I never got one, but I would hope. If it didn't happen, then that would be weird.
Well,
Because that was a big crowdfunding thing, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like an
So yeah, we're
Indiegogo.
like in a thing with like Adam Green.
Oh, that's super cool.
creation.
I want to see that. We should do
Oh.
some research online.
Adam
I-
Green's band apparently is back together and he's doing
I
a
saw
tour.
that. Yeah, Haddonfield's
We
back
should go
there.
see him.
I'd love to.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, that'd be fun. We love you, Adam Green. By the way,
Yeah, that'd be
He's
awesome.
not watching,
I know.
but
He could be. Who knows? What if Adam Green just like watches all this stuff? Like he's just like all.
amazing.
He doesn't
I
watch
know.
any Hollywood stuff. He's just like, no, I'm watching
fuck
indie.
that. I'm just
Yeah.
all about
Indie
these
horror
guys.
stuff.
Yeah, he is that amount of time.
Huh.
He doesn't.
No.
The funniest thing. Okay, what's going on?
The funniest thing happened is when I was watching Pig Girl, my brother got scared of Pig Girl and ran out of my room.
Oh, okay. I already read that. I'm sorry.
No,
Yes.
there was one about Pork Chop and one about Pig Girl, so it's two
Oh,
different
Pig Girl
things.
2.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, Pig Girl's a more fucked up movie, I think, in a lot of ways, than Pork Chop 1.
I don't know.
But I think Pork Chop 1 is more of a straightforward horror film, right? I mean, there's a lot of
Oh.
comedy, but I think it's more. Well, I don't know.
There's more
is Pig
comedy
Girl
than
more
Pork-
horror
I
than?
think Pig Girl probably.
I don't know. It was a labor.
Pork
of
Chop's
love.
more of like a horror.
Pig Girl was
comedy.
supposed to be more of a horror film,
Yeah.
and then when I had to play the part, it turned into more of a comedy.
Well, and
Thing.
me as well.
And me as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
When your
We're
crew,
so great.
when your crew becomes your cast, not
Yeah.
because
Right.
of
So.
anything that you did.
Yeah. Pro tip: don't let the guy shooting your movie also be in the movie. It's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, well, that was Zombie Babies.
Because then
and
the
most
guy
everything
who's
else.
directing the movie and also acting in
In
the
the
movie
movie,
then
right.
has to also then shoot a lot
Yeah.
of the movie. While the
If
guy
he's
who's
not in the
supposed to be
scene.
shooting the movie is
Right.
actually in the movie.
But if they're both in the scene, then we have to get another guy.
Did I do 7 jobs on that one?
I don't know.
That
It was
was
a
the-
lot. But there was a lot of stuff.
I think I even cooked
I remember carrying a lot of
the
equipment.
meal.
I
for
think I
somebody.
cooked everything.
I
think
try not to
Missy
carry
probably
anything
cooked everything.
at all because
Pretty sure she cooked everything.
if I carry something,
Who?
You, I
I'm
think you
done.
cooked everything.
Oh, really? Which one?
Pig Girl.
Oh, probably.
no.
What?
I had to cook something.
No.
I
I
don't
never cooked
remember.
anything.
I don't
in
think
the
so.
movie?
No.
I
I
think
like
she
cooking
cooked
for
5
people,
out
though.
of the 7 days at least.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we had
Yeah.
more than 7 days, didn't we?
Yeah, there
Oh,
was a
because we
lot.
couldn't
But that week,
bring
sure.
anything in.
There was a lot of stuff going on.
I don't think
we
anybody
only
brought
got,
anything
we got
in.
actual like
We got
fast
some Red
food.
Bull cases.
yeah, but I think one day we got like
We had Red Bull was sponsored
For
on
Pig
Pig
Girl.
Girl.
we had Red
Awesome.
Bull and we had Bridge Brew Works.
Yeah, we had
and
this
and
brews.
Blue Smoke
Oh,
salsa.
and Blue
And
Smoke.
blue smoke salsa. Yes.
Damn, that's so cool.
I
We
think
need to
only
do
had,
that
like,
again.
Fast food one time.
We need to do that just for
I
this
don't
podcast.
think that was when we were
just
in,
get
like-
in some Genos.
I
the
could
heart
just
of
call
it.
my friend and get
I
Gina's.
think we're in Charleston. We got like some like delivery.
We got
So I think the whole
Geno's
time
and we
just-
got.
We
You
always
mean on
get
Crawling
Gino's
Dead?
and
We got a lot.
Tutors.
Yeah.
We always get Gino's and Tutors.
Crawling Dead, we had about 4 or 5
We've got
sponsors.
Yeah, we did. That was really great. It's just
Just
so
to bring in
important.
food.
It's so like amazing when local businesses actually like chip into like local artists and everything like that. Like we all always really appreciate that. And even the national companies, I mean, reaching out with a letter and explaining, you know, this is what we're doing.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I mean, Jenny did
I
that.
knew-
Like Jenny, we give her credit for that. Jenny Richards, she was the AD on
killed
Pig
it.
Girl. She was like super awesome.
Got us so much product placement.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
really great about it.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I knew from my earliest days when we shot Catholic Ghoul Girls and Vampire Wars, I got Balls, BAWLS, that fucking energy drink.
Right.
They sent us case after case after case of their fucking shit. And we're like, absolutely, we're gonna be a part of your zombie movie, buddy. And like, just anything I wanted from so many fucking like companies, I was like, we can actually get this. And then when we did the Import Shop 1, Brandon Raker and I, the producer on that, he contacted so many fucking companies like Mr. B's and fucking Buzz and Utz and everybody, and people were just like, yeah. And I got home one day and the entire fucking, our apartment was like up on the second floor of this fucking like apartment building. And I remember when we were shooting Pork Chop 1, I get home and I walk in the fucking door and I open it up and I just see like boxes and like, let me make sure I'm on camera, this much fucking like space to walk around them. So like I'm like sidling, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I get in the fucking apartment and I see like 20 times the amount of giant fucking boxes through the whole fucking place. And my roommate at the time, who's also the DP on that movie, he looks at me as, we gotta fucking talk. I've been carrying this shit in here for like fucking like an hour. Yeah, fucking start fucking moving. And like, we had to get all that shit off the fucking staircase and put inside, and we had no room to move in there at all.
That's
so
amazing.
then we had to immediately take it all to the fucking set and the bar and start like putting it back in this like storage fucking room there and in the upstairs in there. We had just like, they went fucking batshit crazy. It was
Yeah,
like,
I
oh, we
love
can
it.
get rid of our stock right now? Take it. And just
Yeah.
gave us so much shit. We were eating chips and pretzels and shit for like fucking months.
Yes.
It was awesome.
It's a great diet.
Yeah.
No, I think, and we had on Pork Chop too, there was some like, it was like crunk juice or like, it was some
yeah,
weird,
we
like,
got something strange, right?
yeah, it was
Some weird like
I don't want to
college
say
thing.
crank.
It was a
Definitely.
West Virginia
And I
company,
don't want to say crunk because
Yeah.
I wish it was
There was-
crank juice.
there was something else in between. I don't know. I'll have to ask
I don't even know
Brandon.
who did he do the deal on that? I don't even know.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think Brandon did. And
We always get weird energy drink
Yeah, which is
sponsors,
great.
like with no effort.
like,
It's just
and
like,
that's amazing because we need them.
Yeah.
Because you shoot for like 16 hours a day.
Right.
At
And I
least
don't drink them
we do.
because it makes me feel weird.
I do.
But-
and I remember on Pit Girl, I was like
I love them, but I just can't
crazy
handle
excited
it.
about Red Bull
Yeah.
because we had Red Bull. Like every day I had
Mhm.
Red Bull. It's fucking awesome.
Which is like, it's amazing.
I know,
it was
'cause
like
it's like
$3 a
$3,
can,
it's like,
you know?
yeah.
It's like,
Oh,
oh,
fuck.
I'm just, and then there's more
Now
of it.
it's
It's
I
fine.
just started pouring like all over my body.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That Rebel swag.
Mm-hmm.
No, I always get excited to see a therapist, and I'm like, I can't drink that because I'll just bug out. But like that's what keeps everybody up.
Mhm.
Like, I like coffee. Like, and we also have had like coffee sponsorships on some of the movies, and that's fucking killer to just have
Oh.
tons of fucking free coffee.
Anything that provides caffeine. Because you literally, no one slept. I mean, hopefully
Mhm.
the actors have gotten some sleep, but sometimes, we have to shoot late, and I mean,
Mhm.
everybody needs a good cup of coffee or some caffeine or like some good
Yeah.
breakfast thing in the morning, and like that's so.
We had one coffee
important.
sponsorship where they demanded it back,
Wait, what?
Really?
and we were like, they're not gonna give a fuck about getting it back.
Yeah.
I think
Getting what back?
Robbie got the sponsorship for us. And he, like, talked to the guy, and he went to get it and all this, and, like, brought back all this. So, like, Pork Chop himself went and got us, like, our fucking coffee, and then brought it to the thing. And then fucking, we're all like, yeah, they're not going to worry about it. And he goes, yeah, you know, it's probably fine. Like, whatever. They're not going to fucking say shit. And then we were, like, drinking the coffee and, like, using it for fucking everything. And we go through the whole fucking movie and everything. And then the guy, like, actually demanded the coffee back.
How do you do
And we were like, so some of it
coffee.
got used in, like, scenes or whatever. He goes, cool, so just bring me the remainder. It's like, so, also, like, we might not be able to get that back to you, like, immediately, or is that gonna, he goes, well, I mean, I'm gonna need it tomorrow. And it just got, like, really weird.
What are you gonna do with open?
It
If you've
wasn't
already
even
opened
that
a
much.
product,
It wasn't so much that, it would be something that a giant company would need back.
Okay, but here's my question: if you've already opened a product,
right?
The rule is you do not take it back.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't restaurant. You don't take things back after the thing has been served. You don't reserve it later.
We
you
had
can't
at a certain
redo
point.
that.
We even got rallies to give us.
Oh, I love rallies.
Gigantic fucking, like, the shit that
Bags
they
of
get in
fries?
off the truck. No, of the buns.
Oh, great!
And they were just like, take it. And then we got, like, somebody else to give us all this fucking, like, barbecue and shit. It was fucking amazing.
Glory days.
My God. We got it. We can do all that anytime, too. It's
I
like,
know.
we just don't have,
You have to have a person to help do that, though.
We have to have somebody to handle all that shit and keep the contacts up and do all the stuff.
It's a lot of work. It really is. To do it on your own.
Oh, it's way more than you think,
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's worth it in the end. And, you know, we always make the movie and we get it done, so.
We can definitely get Red Bull back on the next thing we do.
Times are tough.
I'd like to, but who knows?
In this America.
It's only been a couple years.
Sure.
It's only been like 4 years.
Avery said that he told his girlfriend this Halloween he was going to go as Pork Chop.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that Anna is going to dress as Pig Girl.
Oh, that is the best couple's costume ever.
That is a really good costume for you guys to do. I would love that. That would be amazing. I tried to make my brother go also as Pork Chop with Frowie.
He could be Bert Fleming.
Yeah, he could be.
You gotta have a Bert Fleming in there or any Teddy.
That's true.
You
but
pick
you guys
any Teddy
as a couple, that would be really
if
cute.
You have a Choose Life shirt.
Or, any Choose Life shirt.
What else would Teddy wear? Teddy would wear
trucker hat, just a white T-shirt. I mean,
or he could be a zombie baby.
Or you could be the victim. He could be a victim.
Oh yeah, could be Richie. Or Mike. Or
if I ever see like somebody as like.
I like how somebody reminded me that the character's name is Mike,
and
I'm like, or
should be Elron. It shouldn't be Elron. He should just be Elron. Like,
what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say a blonde chick with a purple dildo, like taped to her neck. You could have the Lindsay Davis character.
Yeah.
Right, even though that's not from Pork Chop or Pig Girl, but that's still fine.
But
that's just Scott's fantasy.
I know. He's like, that was
just
you're right.
Strangling
that was
her
good.
with
I'm not gonna even like.
That was a good part of the movie.
Just his actual penis.
After we moved someone out of an apartment and then shot. That was. You know what? You gotta do what you gotta do.
What did we do?
We moved Kaylee out of her apartment, and then we shot that scene.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was awful.
Yeah, it was.
Jesus.
That's a lot of.
Kaylee, I love you, but damn, that was a mess.
Jeez. We didn't realize you lived on the 3rd floor.
Slim down your fucking belongings, lady. Jesus Christ.
There wasn't. It was just really weird stuff to carry.
She's an artist and she has fucking wood. It's
like
everything.
she's doing woodworking.
I don't have like a futon, like a new
It's like
futon.
it's like 1930s furniture
or whatever it is, like wood.
Okay.
Fucking bench.
So
it needs to be brought in on a
flathead. Says, hey, can you guys tell us how to film movies? What type of things you need, etc.
Okay.
Tripod. dolly.
I would no.
Nah,
A
come
good
on,
camera.
really?
You don't need a dolly.
That's not your first thing.
No,
You
it's not my
need
first.
What's your first thing?
a
Tripod
camera.
camera that's good. Camera's good.
DSLR. Get a
Yeah.
mid-range DSLR.
A Lumix.
My suggestion would be, if you're just getting into it, if you want to go about the $500 range on a camera, the Panasonic G7 is probably the best camera that you could get right now to just right out of the gate be shooting 4K shit in 24 frames per second. Gives you a very nice filmic look, and then and easy to use as well, and has actually pretty nice autofocus. And then you can do selective focus on the touchscreen, which is fun.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
So
And
you need a camera. You also need a tripod.
you do need a tripod, but you don't have to go crazy on the tripod. You might be able to find at first you don't, unless you're doing videography. If you're doing a movie, you're not gonna be like panning all the fucking time or anything. So who gives a shit? You just need to have it attached to something and then set up. But a tripod is very necessary.
Yeah.
So I would say that
Camera,
you
tripod,
could get
audio.
a deal where the tripod comes with it, and you get a shitty one for like $20.
Which would be amazing
Scott will
for
say
a tripod.
that's blasphemy.
What? The tripod's $20?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is black.
I've never seen a tripod for that little
it's
amount. I
crazy.
mean, it is expensive. Like,
That'd be a shitty tripod.
it is.
Yeah, it's gonna be terrible.
If you're gonna do still shots, yeah, it's fine. I
Yeah.
think, but yeah.
So
It is expensive. I mean, it at first, but you build up. You know, you have to build up
Yeah.
to these products
for
that you
sure.
get. And I mean, we've been doing this for how many years?
too many.
A lot. So we have equipment that we've gained over the years from buying and keeping it,
Upgrading and,
upgrading it, and
Over a
so
decade.
you can't. Well, over a decade.
15 years.
So you can't just go out and just say, okay, I'm gonna the best camera, the best tripod, the best sound, the best lights, everything. I mean, I guess you could,
Right.
but you can still do this stuff like on a budget where you don't have to get the best of everything, which
Yeah.
is what you're basically saying. You know,
Yeah.
get a
Yeah,
mid-range
yeah.
camera, but the audio is very important.
Get a mid-range camera to start. Don't get a like entry level like bullshit cheapo thing. Like go ahead and just fucking go balls to the wall with your camera.
I would say
Go cheaper on your tripod.
if you could get a 4K camera, do it. But if you can't afford that, if you get a 1080 camera, overlight.
Yeah.
Like, just blow it out. And so you can do whatever you want for your film.
Right.
With filters, you can do whatever.
So lights, what would you suggest for starter lights? Going LED?
I mean, you can almost, definitely LED.
Well, yeah, you have to.
But if you can't afford that, just get a bunch of lights. Like if you're doing like still shots that are like really just in a certain space, you can just get lights and just light the shit out of it. Yeah, I would think so.
You can also get we
But
use
go LED because it's cheaper. The batteries last a long time.
Yeah.
They're not hot.
Yeah, they won't make people's makeup
Yeah.
sweat off their fucking
LED
faces,
is the way
which
to
is
go.
a fucking like
And
problem.
they've gotten so cheap now.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, you can get like fucking adjustable, even remote control lights for that like 160 LED lights or even 300s. I think we have 2 300s that are fucking killer.
Yeah.
And will light your fucking scene, especially if you're doing the $500 cameras opposed to the 300 range camera. And then also one other thing is that you definitely need is you need to get a good mic. And if you want to do something really cheap and quick to kind of just get you started and you don't want to have a boom operator or anything, you can get a Rode video mic that'll plug in and go directly into your camera. And that'll get you some pretty good audio, but you're going to have to be close to your actors. And if you're not, you want to do an extension cable from that microphone and then lay it, down somewhere, hide it in the scene somewhere to where it's kind of closer to them. And then you can film your stuff pretty well. That's your basic starter kit.
Yeah.
And then you'll definitely need to subscribe to Adobe Creative Cloud, which if you do have any option for a student email address, do that shit like a motherfucker, because it will knock your shit down to $15 or $20 a month, and you get Photoshop and Premiere and fucking everything.
And those are all the things to edit your images and your
video and get it posted up and all that. Really fucking cool.
You have to, I mean, what we do, we edit ourselves. We do everything ourselves. And that's pretty sufficient for us.
Right.
A lot of people will outsource that, but the best thing that you can do, honestly, is if you just do a little bit of research and actually teach yourself how to do this stuff. There's so much information on the internet. There's so many tutorials on YouTube that if you actually just take a few hours out of your day and spend some time and learn, how to edit or what to, how to design or use these different platforms that you can get, I mean, you're going to save yourself a lot of money, a lot of time, and then you're going to be in total control of what you put out, which I think is the greatest benefit of, working with like an indie film company and things like that is we are in total control of it. Nobody's telling us what to do. We can do what we want, and that's because
I do what I want.
And that's because, we've got good people like Eamon, Scott, who know how to do they know how to do a lot of the technical aspects of it, but they've worked really hard over the years to do it. It didn't happen over 2 months or 3 months. I mean, they put in years of work and experience. Exactly.
Even
so
at this point.
We always are learning and trying to.
Another option too is find somebody who has Final Cut 10. Steal that from them.
I thought you were about to get really.
I know.
I thought you were about to say something really offensive.
Really?
Another fucking option is to do a comedy bit.
Find somebody who has paid. I think Final Cut 10 now is $700. That's really cheap for the editing software. It's perfect.
Is it?
Has a lot of fucking stuff.
That's so cheap.
So if you have that and you have After Effects, get a project. Boom, you got your intro, you got your outro. Do your movie, edit. Boom, you're good to go.
Anna wants to know if we actually filmed Pork Chop in the woods.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Too much woods.
We filmed.
I still have poison ivy on my scrotum.
We filmed a lot of our movies.
I don't actually have it on.
In the actual woods.
Not now.
But like a month ago, it cleared up.
Which was.
And it's been 7 years. No,
See, I
it's
had
been
it on my,
15 years. I don't know. It's been a lot.
I think actually, if I think back to it, I think I got poison ivy.
You did?
On Pork Chop 3.
I think most people got poison ivy.
I haven't gotten it since.
I don't know if you guys are like allergic to poison ivy or any of that, but we try to protect people from that. But sometimes if you're in character,
I'm way over allergic to bullshit. Like if I'm in the woods, I'll just get poison ivy
or oak.
Yeah.
Or
I got to an age where it just didn't affect me anymore. And I just don't get it, apparently. Because I was, like, laying in some fucking shit.
It's crazy.
All the time through all the movies. And, after, I think, the first one. And I think I got a small patch on Pork Chop 1. And then after that, I was just like, it was on my fucking, the back of my scrotum. Not on my taint, but, like, just the back side of my nutsack.
Did you have to pay money to do a movie in the woods?
No, that's one of the cool things about West Virginia is we
no
don't
permit,
have
and
permits.
We just fucking do it.
We don't have
DIY, baby.
Crazy like shit we got to deal with. We don't have location fees usually because people are just like, oh yeah, come on out and do the thing.
Most other places though you will, so you may want to look into that.
Yeah, if you're thinking about it, like national parks and stuff, they do have rules, whatever. But
if we have to rent a cabin, we have done that, and it went horribly wrong for us.
Yeah, watch out for that.
That costs a lot, and that'll always be our expense. So if we are shooting a woodland film, which I think our next film is going to be that, we are going to have to be paying for cabin rentals and shit like that, which costs a lot of money.
Speaking
and it costs a
which,
lot to get people gassed out there too, and
Yeah.
like fucking travel out to these weird areas.
If
And
we
then once
do,
you're out there, you got to pay more
if
for
we
all
do-
the extra shit you need. You want to interrupt me,
If
or
we
you want to be a
do-
human?
If we do another film,
The
Like that way they do.
do.
so if we do another film, who's gonna donate?
What do you mean? No
Are
one.
these people gonna donate to our new film,
I hope they don't.
or are we just gonna be like, ah, fuck, we can't do it?
No, we always do it, no matter what.
Well, I mean, if we
always
get a
do it.
budget, yes.
Yes. So we're only going to do it if we hit the budget
Yeah.
on the next
This
one.
could be a
And it'll
Kickstarter.
be our first time that we've done Kickstarter and
For a
not
while.
Indiegogo.
Yeah. You did Kickstarter in Pork Chop, didn't you?
Yeah. So every single time we've basically only done Indiegogo. So it's like, okay, so whatever we get, we're still going to make it. No matter how hard it is for us, no matter what we got to fucking go through, whatever. And it's been hellish. And it's destroyed our lives.
Mm-hmm.
We've lost friends.
Maybe bring
We've-
it up a little bit.
Probably wanted to end it all.
Eamon?
I was bringing it down, and then I'm going to bring it up. But this time, what we want to do is make sure that we have the budget to tell the story that we want to tell. And if we can't get that budget, we're not gonna do something that's less than what I think the story deserves and what our fan base, I think, deserves at this point. By
Yeah.
fan base, I mean 4 to 5 people.
There's more than that, but
We have more than that.
yeah,
I count the hugs.
I think that's
that
the
I
way
get
to do it, man.
at conventions is what I count. If I get 4 to 5 hugs, I'm like, I have a 4 to 5 person fan base. But so basically what we're gonna do is have a whole situation where we make sure that we can make the movie that I don't know if we deserve to make it,
Oh, we definitely deserve it,
but
we have to actually make this movie.
the movie that the audience deserves.
Well, yeah. And
That
the
sounds
script,
pretentious
I
and
think
douchey,
The
but
script deserves.
and the script is good. And
The script's excellent.
has
Actually,
a lot of cool
the
shit.
script, Eamon gave it to me about a year and a half ago when you moved to California. And I loved it, but I was like, fuck, I don't have the money to make this. Can I do this as a Indiegogo or a Kickstarter? And then like somebody ended up taking like the original title, but now we got a better title. I think our title now
we have
is
a
better.
much better title.
So we're gonna do it if we get the budget, and man, it's gonna. I want to get like some, we're gonna get like an indie or maybe a mainstream actress,
yes.
possibly for one of the roles,
So we're gonna try to get a
a
big
name.
big name actress.
and then we're
or
gonna
actor.
rent a lot of stuff. There's
Mhm.
like a lot of So if we get it, yeah, I think it's gonna be like one of the best things we've ever done. But if we don't get the budget, man, like.
I think it could
This
be
time
our
we don't have to worry
finest,
about it.
our finest film.
Oh, for sure. I think it will be.
Not in that way where everybody says their new film is their best film.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like,
And 'cause,
actually, I think it will be our
And
absolute.
I love her films. I love Pork Chop 3D. One of my favorites. But I think this could be up there with, like, if people like, I love Pork Chop 3D, I don't like anything else. If there is a person that's out there that says that. Like, they would be like, man, this fucking movie is fucking awesome. Like,
Right.
it's like a slasher, it's a comedy, it's a,
The new one?
yeah.
Yeah.
There's like, tender moments.
Well, I'd
lot of
forgotten
stuff in
a
there.
lot of what the
Well, I remembered it, and I was like, "There's
script
no fucking way I
was,
can shoot this unless
and-
I have like."
yeah. Missy was like reading
At the
me
time, I was
back
thinking
what I had written,
20 grand.
and
I was like, I
my-
need 20
was like,
grand
holy
to do
shit.
this.
Did you read the rest
That's
of
gonna
this?
be a big thing.
We're
No,
gonna
no.
we're gonna push
Okay.
that down, but
It says, what college did you learn all this movie stuff?
Oh, it's the Eamon Hardiman School of Hard Knocks is what a lot of people called it.
Mhm.
On Pork Chop, One and Zombie Babies and all that. It's basically, I took like one little tiny filmmaking course at like a fucking community college, and it was fun, and it got me excited to do it. And then after that, it was like, I need to actually... It wasn't like you learn every bit of being on a set or anything. It was just, here's how you craft a story, and you shoot some stuff, and you cut it together, and then there's a little short film or something. Very, very simple, only a few months of, one day a week or something, for 45 minutes. And then it's hard to get the whole thing out of that, but that's what kind of sparked my interest. And then everything else I just taught myself the whole time. And then I also, at some point, I'd made 2 movies and a bunch of shorts, and the movies weren't what I exactly wanted them to be. So I moved to LA, and I worked on a whole bunch of sets as a PA, and then moved up to an AD, and I worked as a camera assistant on some stuff. And over the course of that, I kind of learned what a movie set should be, how it should be run, and at least to the degree where people are doing what they're supposed to do and things move in a nice way, and you can kind of create things out of that. And and then I came back, and that's when we did Pork Chop 1, and then Pork Chop 2, or Pork Chop 1, then Zombie Babies, and Pork Chop 2, and then 3D, and Pig Girl, and Steve Death Collector, and The Crawling Dead, and a million music videos and shorts and stuff like that. And that's how I've always tried to run it. I've always tried to run it as the company is, even though we may not all be the most, trained professionals, apart from Scooter here, that we're gonna act as if.
I'm a trained professional.
Act as if we are an actual
and we do.
thing.
We do.
Treat everyone with respect. Treat the fucking set as if it is everything rides on this, and that we take it seriously. Very, very seriously, I think, but not to the point where no one has fun. And if it ever gets to that point, then we kind of pull back. We're like, oh shit, we need to
stop
we
this
need to
for
be
a second and
here,
regroup and
and that doesn't happen on big sets or Hollywood things or anything. It's kind of fucking shitty. So you can have good experiences on those, and but it's not everybody still all the time has this weird, it's like a guillotine is going back and forth or whatever that is, the pendulum fucking thing is going, that's about to cut their fucking head off. Everybody still always has that on Hollywood set. Or they're always worried about every interaction they have and what that's gonna do to their future or whatever. And everybody's just pulling their punches and holding back. And on our stuff, I don't think we have it. I think we create a nice vibe of family and all that.
Too.
And that's what I kind of wanted to bring to it.
We cook together. I cook, and I'm also producing, and I'm doing. We're all chipping in, and I think. Even
and everybody's
our actors,
getting a film school as
and they're all learning, and I learned so much. The first movie I was in was Zombie Babies, and I learned so much from being on that set, and that's what I really wanted to do after. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is something that is really cool. A bunch of people are coming together and making something awesome, and we're all struggling to do it. It's hot. The conditions are not necessarily the best, but we all have the script and this
we're all embracing each other while we're weeping.
The goal is in mind, and we have to get this done. It's a challenge, It's if you set a challenge in front of me, I'm gonna do that, and that's what I think indie filmmaking is. It is just a challenge because you're not supposed to succeed. Everything is stacked against you. But you can succeed, and you will. You just have to push yourself and push, your cast and your crew, and just.
And you always have that moment at the end of every day when you've
you
worked the hardest you ever thought you could work, and you went 18 hours, and then you finish and you wrap up your day, and you look around at the people that are still there with you at that point, putting out the campfire or whatever it is. and you realize that that's your fucking family that you would fucking bury a body for. And you all fucking crack a beer open and you just fucking know that that's what you're meant to be doing for the rest of your life.
It's so good. It's such a good feeling. I'm going to read this real quick. Hang on. So, Anna, hey guys. Anna, I'm now watching Pork Chop. Hey, okay, Anna says, I'm not surprised, Avery, that you're watching it again, LOL. Are you planning on doing a tour or meet and greet? Avery says, I know, Anna, I love Pork Chop so much. It's my #1 top favorite horror movie and best slash film ever.
What?
And Anna, I wish I can run to your house as Pork Chop and scare you. He says, how dare you, Avery? And he says, I'll do it because I love you so much.
So where is Avery and Anna? Where are you guys from?
Yeah, tell us where
you
you guys
guys
are located.
from?
I forget what the address is. I'm sorry. But the
I love that.
I think they're close actually. But yeah, I think we're definitely gonna do meet and greets, fan things. Probably, we've always talked about doing it in Kentucky. At
what, like Scarefest or something? Wait, is that it?
At Fright Night and stuff like that
Fright
in
Night.
Kentucky. But
I
we've always talked about that. But we've never done it because I think we were just afraid that like not that many people would
they're
be
from
able to show
Ohio.
up.
Ohio, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think there are any festivals in Ohio that we go. I know there's going to be Days of the Dead will be back.
Yeah.
In Ohio. But I know they're also doing, and Horror Hound, I think, is Ohio too. Yeah, we might be able to do something like that.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely we could set up something, even if we don't have a table presence at a con, we could probably set up a night at a con that we just go to and then like have a big meetup thing, I think, and hang out. But yeah, anytime you know anybody sees us at a convention or whatever, like fucking come hang out with us, we'll do it up.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be so much fun, I think.
Yeah. The one of the things that I've been wanting to do is to go to some of the conventions up around, because we're going to be in New York for a while. I thought about some of the cons up there and in the New York area, doing some heading up some of those, and then Jersey and all that shit. I know there's a lot of stuff that goes on there, so that'll be super easy to do. I think is it Boston has something too? I think they have a big fucking and there's some upstate New York things, but we definitely need to get into the Ohio cons, because we haven't been to Ohio in a fucking hot minute.
It's been a while. It's been
my
3 or 4 years.
in Ohio.
Is that the song? The Ohio song?
Are you guys gonna
Hawthorne
be
Heights.
gone,
Anybody? Does he
the-
remember Hawthorne Heights?
Oh no!
That was like back in the day. Hawthorne Heights. I don't know. They were like a pop punk band that I liked.
Yeah. I remember Hawthorne Heights. What was their song? Like
The Ohio song.
Yeah.
You guys really
My Heart Is in Ohio. or something
Yes,
like that,
my heart is in Ohio.
And he had like this big bulb,
Yes.
but it was basically like this. It was like a bulb.
Yeah. It was so good.
Yeah, that was good.
What's your favorite place in Ohio, Scott?
My favorite place in Ohio is definitely on the.
Not Dayton.
Nobody
I
said
don't
that.
know, man.
I really like Columbus, Ohio. Well, I've been to Cincinnati,
Pittsburgh,
Columbus,
Ohio is cool, right?
Pittsburgh, Ohio.
Right, it's a place.
Okay.
Pittsburgh, Ohio.
I mean, I thought that was Pennsylvania.
Not Pennsylvania, Ohio, but Pittsburgh.
Oh, I don't
Ohio.
know. I've never
No,
been
I just
there.
made that whole thing up.
But
It
okay.
actually is Pennsylvania, Ohio. But I
Cleveland,
wish that there was a Pittsburgh,
Columbus,
Ohio.
Cincinnati, and Dayton are the places that I've been. I also went to a place called Scioto, Ohio, when I was like younger, and I went to summer camp there.
Honestly,
So,
Cleveland. I think
I
Cleveland.
love that. I mean, I think Ohio's great.
I do too.
Let's see.
I think Cleveland's the best place in Ohio.
If we ever go meet Eamon, I'm dressing as Pork Chop and I'm coming to your house, Pork Chop. I'll take you with me to meet him. I'm sorry, guys, if this sounds weird. If she says you better take me, LOL. I'll take you with me, Anna, because you're my girlfriend and I love you so much, and I also love Pork Chop. I love this. It's a great romance. I feel.
love Pork Chop.
It's a great romance.
The best thing, and it might break the mystique, but Rob, who plays Pork Chop, is the sweetest human being I've ever met in my life.
It's true.
I feel like he's a gentle lover.
Well,
But he's a killer. And he's a killer.
Oh, wait, are we keeping
They're
that
all
up? Oh,
misunderstood.
sorry. I've broken the whole thing.
nah,
Broke kayfabe.
it's fine.
Yeah, Rob in real life is a gentle lover.
Broke kayfabe.
I feel like he just would cradle me until I fell asleep, and then we would get married on a goat farm, and then
I feel like he helped me clean up a lot of a set one night on Pork Chop 2. And I got no sleep, and then I woke him up, and he was outside on a deck.
Oh yeah, that got weird.
And I said, "Can you help me again?" And he said, "Yeah, just give me a few minutes."
Yeah.
I mean, we
were all on that
Pork
movie
Chop is
particularly. Yeah, Pork
Pork
Chop
Chop-
movies
Pork
are
Chop-
the hardest movies.
Pork Chop 2 was really, really hard.
Yeah. I think we got some chat.
For sure. Okay. I love you, and yes, Avery, I love Pork Chop too. What's the hardest thing about making a movie?
Hardest thing about making a movie is the anal. There's a lot of anal required. No. The hardest thing about making a movie is probably wow.
I'm gonna say the scheduling. Because that's what I do
Yeah.
the majority of on every film. So
Uh-huh.
I have to break down all of the scenes, and I have to schedule them throughout the day. And
Some people can't be there on Tuesday, but they can be there on Thursday, even though the other people that are in the scene can be there on the Tuesday, but can't be there on Thursday.
right.
And they can only be there from 12 to 1, and then have to leave for 2 hours, and then they can come back from 5 to 7. But
yeah.
they're only in day scenes, and it's fucking winter, so at fucking 5 it's night. So
Yeah.
they can't be there during
Okay.
that fucking time.
Yeah.
And this happens over and over and over again, and you're juggling 30 people with that same thing. So it's basically like this huge math word problem.
It's a math word problem, and
from hell.
And I'm not good at math, but I make it work.
If you
And
look at it for long enough, if you're like Missy and you've done it enough, it can the things start to line up, and you can kind of envision it like the fucking Matrix, like flowing down in front of you.
That's true. I like that. That's a good analogy.
Yeah, but you can use that in future Q&As.
I will.
But it definitely is like the
It's a
craziest fucking thing.
It's a mind-blowing experience trying to schedule
right.
everything.
But when you get it and you
get
finally
it, yeah,
figure it out,
yeah.
and it all starts to
It
like
is a puzzle.
the
It's great.
pieces go into the fucking puzzle.
And that's
it's
why-
the most like
It's
fucking
invigorating.
an orgasmic feeling.
It really
ever.
is. It's like I
see,
just
like, it just works.
It's like I just solved.
Oh my God.
I solved this movie,
right.
and then like 6 hours later, something else will happen, and it's
Yeah.
like the clock is ticking. It's like tick tock, tick
Mhm.
tock, 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 and then there's like it's like we're solving a Zelda puzzle,
Yeah.
and like I'm doing that in my head of like how I'm gonna figure out the
Mhm.
rest of this shit for tomorrow, because everything
And
just
then-
got completely turned upside down.
Yeah.
And
you get it all on the page, and then somebody cancels.
And then you have to
you're
rework
like,
it again.
Oh no, that now means that every single thing I did needs to rework. But like sometimes if you're looking at it, you kind of get that little like thing again, like you're the fucking dude from A Beautiful Mind, and like shit just like kicked in, and you get it. And you're like, no, we can just move them to blah blah blah, and it's like it's just like I just got away with murder. Like, it's that feeling that it's got to be, or of you hitting, like, the fucking jackpot on a fucking slot machine of, like, it all just, they all hit in order. It was like, ding, 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 hello. That was a Twin Peaks thing.
Hello. Do you use some type of app to edit scenes, since you have to do scene by scene? To edit the scenes, that would be... What, Final Cut Premiere or a computer application
for the video, to
actually edit the schedule. I use paper and pen.
Yeah, there are apps, but they're not good, and they charge a lot of money, and they're really complicated. And it's like we just know. We
print everything. You basically have to memorize everything, scene, and you have to number every scene.
Sorry, Final Draft used to do that for us. Do you remember? They used to print out that thing where it was like, here are the people that are in a scene. Here's the. Here's the location. Here are the people that are in the scene.
I don't ever remember that.
But we would still have to read through to like.
Well, and then you'd have to put.
Yeah.
So you need
the scene report,
the people,
yeah,
the location, the wardrobe, the props,
the scene report,
the special effects. So all those things need to be in like a line, and then you go down the list. And if one of these scenes doesn't happen then, you still have to shoot it. And we would have to go through, I mean, every single night and morning, we're crossing off, like, did we do this? Did we not? We know we did. Do we have all the props? Like, and there have been times, and I feel so bad about it. I've messed up.
Just threw shit in an actor's face.
No, I've
Mm.
messed up a wardrobe congruity.
Shit.
You know, where someone's supposed to be wearing something that they shouldn't be.
Those
moments
weird.
Are so bad because then
she's like, no, she's in that thing, and I'm like, I don't think she's in that for this thing. No, it's in the fucking thing. Do you know? Is it in the fucking thing? And then the actor is like, I think I'm in this thing, and then it's like this massive breakdown of like everything. And then you're like, oh my god, did we just shoot the last 4 scenes in different wardrobes?
Yes.
And everybody starts having like these mini heart attacks and like freaking out, like, did we do it? Hey, were you supposed to be? Did you fuck this up?
Yeah.
And then blame starts getting shifted around
it's always
from everybody.
But
and then,
that's fine, I accept it.
And then I'm like, it's okay. We can just shoot this scene differently, and then do this,
you always have to work around your problems or your mistakes. If you make
only
them,
use the
you always do.
close-ups on the face for this, and they won't be able to see that the fucking shirt is different, or that the collar is not there, or like whatever.
You can always overcome it. I mean, you can be very resourceful as long as you don't give up. You can just definitely like always figure it out. But I've screwed up.
Ooh.
I've screwed up major things, you guys.
I don't want to see Scott Gregg's like later years.
Let's see what.
I don't want to see the twilight years of Scott Gregg when he's just like, "Fuck you."
Okay, so she said she thinks the app would be awesome for you. Okay,
he's
they're
like
talking about if they get married, and then one of our cakes
drop.
can be pork chop. Yes, a pork chop cake. We could have a pork chop birthday party. We will see. I will dress up as pork chop. Wouldn't surprise me.
I think everybody should dress up as pork chop.
I think that's a great birthday party.
Always.
Yeah.
I got some overalls we're going to be selling soon.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's going to be able to fit into those fucking overalls, but yeah, they're the overalls of a giant man.
Okay, Scott.
Yeah,
welcome back to the combo.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Cotter. Welcome back.
Yeah, so we're gonna sell the pork chop overalls on the website soon. I think maybe either on the website or on eBay's. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, the original, or Pork Chop 2 and 3D overalls will be up for sale.
Yeah.
Missy just looked at me like, don't fucking sell that shit. And I'm
No,
like, I'm selling that shit.
we can sell it. It's fine. Doesn't matter. We got a lot of things going on.
Yeah. We're going to get rid of a lot of the old
So.
props. We're going to put them up so that they can find better homes than what we can offer them. And those will all be hitting up pretty soon on the website, which will be it's actionpackthrowride.com or www.horror.com, and we'll have tons of those things hitting the
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
with certificate of authenticity, autographed by some of us.
Oh no. Oh.
We're
Turn
gonna
it
sell
to a great one.
Scott.
Yeah, we're
as
gonna
well.
sell Scott Greg.
Yeah, he needs
I'm
a
not
new
selling
home.
shit. I'm not selling shit.
We're just gonna sell
That's
you.
good. No, I'll sign whatever.
You won't sign yourself
No.
if we
Why
sell you.
not?
Oh
I'll
my
sign
god. I would love to just be able to sell like a day with Scott Greg on the fucking Razor Trap site and just leave it up for a year
Oh, I love
and
that.
see if
actually.
anybody.
That'd be hilarious.
We do have empty slots. I
Would
paid
anyone
for the
bid?
upgrade on the storefront. So we got some empty merch slots.
$500. I'll hang out with you guys.
I bet you I could get one.
It'd be cool
For
if
like
Avery-
what? For like
if
a day?
Avery just bought me for like $500 and just like
I could get a date
he
on
wanted
the
to watch
website.
like movies and stuff. Oh, that would be cool.
That's
I
what
would,
you wish would happen, but it would just be like somebody is like, I just want to stick
It'd be
things
some
in
weird,
his ass.
like
Like carrots in his asshole
Mhm.
for like half a day. And then the
He's
second
like, I've never
half,
stuck tar
I
in
wanna
somebody's
watch him
asshole.
eat the
It'd
carrots.
be like just tar on somebody's finger, just sticking in my asshole.
right?
It'd be some weird shit, but
Yeah.
if it was something cool,
Tar.
yeah, like just tar,
Why
like
do
melted
you do
tar,
that? Why?
like hot tar.
Oh,
Come
like hot
on.
melt. Okay. I thought he was like, it's already dried
Yes,
up.
it
no,
tar.
no,
does.
no,
I'm
it's
like,
gotta be
Stop.
hot
why
and,
do you
like,
just want like a
warm
piece of like
and
tar
gritty
from
and,
the
like,
road
Okay,
in
feel
here?
the
literally right
fucking-
now. Does it have to go on?
It doesn't have to,
Well, I mean, it usually does. Is the
but we
thing.
normally do. Yeah,
So one thing that I've been noticing lately.
I think somebody commented on.
So,
something.
we got some comments there.
Hopefully not about the tar.
It's probably about the tar.
How scary is pork chop when you'll be sleeping? You wouldn't. Oh, yes, I
no.
would. I'll get it on video for Eamon.
What?
I'll dump your pork chop overalls then. And you said you wouldn't.
So, one thing that I've been noticing lately
Mhm.
about horror films is I don't want to watch them.
Oh.
What is a movie I should watch? And that somebody needs to hit that fucking toilet
I'm just following my liquor.
fucking handle.
What's a movie you should watch?
Yeah, what the
That's
fuck
new?
is?
I like
Yeah.
Lego Batman.
I don't know.
No, I know, but I'm saying
It's
horror
not
movies.
Okay.
What is the movie that's gonna fucking make me be like, I want to watch so many more horror movies?
I really like The Void was good. The Void.
Is it really?
Nah, The Void's good.
Because I heard a lot of people say
oh,
it wasn't.
those people are assholes. The
And I
Void's
didn't
good.
like Manborg. And it's
I
the
didn't-
same
I
guys that
hated
made
I
Manborg.
hated Manborg.
And you like The Void.
I love The Void.
Alright? It's on Netflix. That's probably the one then,
Yeah,
right?
watch The Void.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
watch that. While you guys still sit down here and keep the stream going for another 5 hours, which will be
We
a
do.
mistake.
Well, this is how we action pack throw ride it. We go until
Also,
they
I
don't want us
watched
to be
the-
going. And and then we go longer.
This is
And then
how
they're
we
like,
do.
wow,
And
we
everybody
should have
does it.
never
Live in the
tuned
club.
into this
This
podcast
is how
ever.
we
And
do.
then we keep
watched
going.
a,
We go
indie-
until we can't speak.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't
Well,
do
I
you
can't
want to
speak right
do
now. I
it?
was like,
And then we
oh.
I
can't
know.
remember.
Obviously,
what-
Scott. Obviously,
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah.
You did a like a motion like you were trying to like drive a truck and also like do a dance.
Oh, I'm sure I've
a
done
minute
lot.
ago.
Have you?
Shit,
I
yeah.
wonder if anyone
fine, it's
listening
fine.
has actually paid attention to the end.
Nobody cares about.
If
what I
anyone
do.
has ever made it to the end of an action pack throw ride, because
Like, I'm
every
always
single
just
time
like,
at the end, it's like, okay, so you want to, yeah.
I'm just like, end it, man. End it.
Do you want to end it?
The
or-
Boy,
Yeah, man,
your
just
favorite
end it.
movie. She says she loves that movie.
Oh,
What?
okay.
The Void.
The Void, yeah.
Void's a
Wait.
good movie.
No. The Boy.
Oh, I haven't seen The Boy.
Oh, the boy with the doll thing? Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I haven't
wasn't
seen
that
it
good?
I like that girl,
Hmm.
the Walking Dead girl. Oh, she needs to be fucking. I thought she was gonna be Tomb Raider, and I got my penis got.
I'll
hard.
check it out. I haven't
Stop
seen
it.
it yet.
I don't know which.
No, I
what-
thought she was gonna be Tomb Raider because she. I think that was kind of the talk for a while, and now they just got a new girl to play the Tomb Raider. The girl from Walking Dead that plays Maggie.
Hmm.
She's in The Boy. And it's about these people, and they have this fucking doll, right? That
Uh-huh.
they're like, that's our son.
Oh.
And she has to become the babysitter to the kid, and she shows up, she's like, this is a weird fucking doll, like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah,
and
like,
then
no, I'm not doing this.
And then it seems like the doll is, like, coming to life and, like, fucking with her and all that shit. It wasn't
Cool.
exactly what I wanted the movie to be, but there's a lot of good shit in it. I think she could have a solid movie career, but I don't know what the fuck she's doing. Like, she needs to be begging. If she hasn't already, she needs to beg to get killed off of Walking Dead. Because she could be a fucking amazing. Because she was awesome on Supernatural. And she should not still be slumming it on that fucking show. Because, I mean, these are in the twilight years. Glenn's fucking dead or whatever. Like, she needs to
Wait.
go.
Glenn's dead?
Oh,
Sorry.
come on,
I'm
Scott.
getting the fuck
Oh,
What?
Scotty.
So, she needs
Scotty
to-
doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
That Glenn is dead.
Scotty doesn't
Who
know
killed
that I
Glenn?
fucked Glenn in your van.
Was it Dave Chappelle?
It was Dave Chappelle killed Glenn. It was fucking Zane Cook.
Where's Billy
Dane
Zane? Where's
Dane
Billy
Cook
Zane?
get it?
I want
Dane
Billy
Cook.
Zane to come
Did
back
you give
in a
like
big
a fucking
way.
30-minute monologue and
I
then
love
just
Billy
told
Zane.
the punchline?
I think Billy Zane is on drugs in a big way.
Really?
And may never.
Wow.
I don't think so.
Billy,
He's just a weird
Billy
guy.
Zane, come back to us. You were so good.
And bald.
I don't care. Bring it back.
He's
Billy.
been bald for.
He can bring back that hair.
He's been bald since.
Yeah,
It
but
doesn't
nobody
matter.
knew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Get
And that was
over
the whole
it.
thing. Is like in
Demon
Titanic,
Knight
he
didn't-
had like
yeah.
all these wigs
Titanic,
to put
Demon
on.
Knight didn't realize.
Demon Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're bald.
Yeah,
He's like, what hairpiece do you want?
yeah. And I think that's probably a lot of people were like, "Oh, we want Billy Zane from fucking blah
Mhm.
blah," and he's like, "Hey, I'm bald,"
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Oh." So we can't afford the $200,000 for the fucking fancy wig.
Mhm.
So what
It's
are we
clearly
doing?
not gonna be that much. Maybe
And
$2,000.
you're gonna be in a lot of action scenes where that wig is gonna fucking like come off of you like 9 times while the water is like blowing past your fucking head. So maybe we just don't hire you.
Without you, I want to. Yeah. No. Any of that?
I don't know what you're
Right.
talking about.
How do I live? I was thinking about Billy Zane with his hair falling off.
How do I live?
You want
Living
to
is without you?
go.
No, I don't know what you're
I don't know
doing.
ever.
Oh my god, I'm in the fucking Mandela universe where
Mandela?
you guys know a different.
Hmm.
How do I live? Everyone
the
knows
band
If
that.
living is without you.
It's the Berenstain Bears. Or is
Okay,
the
so
Berenstain-
you were singing a very
Without
different
you.
song.
Is it
Yeah,
Berenstain
you-
or Berenstein?
It's Baron's. I asked my mom about this.
No,
and
you
her mind
already
was
tricked
blown.
us. You already tricked us on this.
What?
Yes, you did.
Mine was
When
the
we
Berenstain
were in
Bears.
Is it Berenstain or is it
Berenstain Bears was what my universe
It's not
was.
Berenstain, the Jewish couple.
No, it was Berenstain Bears.
Okay, well,
He's lying.
let me
We've
just-
already seen this.
Let me preface
already
this
seen
by
this.
saying that
Uh-uh.
the couple who wrote this,
Nope.
they were Jewish.
Why are we
So
doing?
you think it's Berenstain over Berenstein?
In my universe, it was Berenstain.
He's bullshitting. You've already played this trick before.
What's
The
Berenstain?
Mandela
It's not a
effect.
trick. It's not a
No,
trick.
he just remembers it. You've already thrown out your cards, and we know them.
Or am I wrong? I'm thinking it is the Berenstain, right?
No, it's Berenstein.
No,
Oh,
it's
it's
no,
the
it's
Berenstain.
Berenstain.
Stain.
It's
They're
Berenstain.
the Jewish couple. They're called They're the Berenstain.
Now it's changed again.
No. God damn it! This fucking Mandela
changed
effect.
it again.
It fucks me up sometimes. Like,
No,
am
I asked
right?
my
No,
mom,
wait.
and she was on the same page I was. And I was like, no, it's not that at all.
So
She's
it's
like,
Berenstain.
what?
Oh my
And
god.
she was
I always
like,
thought it was the
no,
Berenstain
that was
Bears.
always what it was.
Am I really gonna have to look this up?
It's a
And
right
then
goddamn
I brought up a
Berenstain.
couple of other
It's not the
things to
Stain.
her from the Mandela thing, and she was like, yeah, what the
She knew
fuck? I'm
all
like,
of them.
we're from a different dimension,
That's
Mom.
bullshit.
And she was like, what?
You don't remember a fucking movie with
No. I mean, I do.
Kazam? You don't
I
remember Kazam?
do.
Quit trying to
Think
play
that
these
there was
Mandela
Shazam,
tricks.
but Shazam.
You've already played the Mandela tricks. We've heard them all because you
Still.
unleashed.
But there's
your
no way a
fucking-
movie called Shazam would have ever come out because that would have they would have had to
But
pay.
it was before Kazam.
They would have had to pay the rights
It was before.
to Captain Marvel and all that fucking shit to DC.
Well, maybe.
Because it would have been Shazam, so it makes no sense that ever would have been a thing.
Still. Sinbad.
Unless Captain
was
Marvel
a
didn't
genie.
exist in your universe.
In a movie called Kazam.
These are the moments when Action
With a
Factor
blonde-
really
little
like
blonde
earns
kid.
its fucking title.
Little blonde male
When
kid
Scott
and his
is
sister
just
who was a
shit
brunette.
hammered and just stares at you with these like glassy eyes and it's
Yeah.
like I'm beyond rescue right now.
How many times did that happen?
It happens
Oh man.
so rare, but like I imagine on a lot of our podcast
Is it
episodes
rare?
that are recorded, it's
Hmm.
like every fucking time.
Is it rare? Or is it every time we hang out?
I don't know. Maybe I'm in the Mandela universe. Yeah, Mandela.
Take that, Jan
Mandela.
Berenstain.
There's some people call him Mandela. The Mandela effect.
We talking
Great
about
job.
James.
Anything going on in the chat? What's up, miss?
I'm trying to read.
Talking about the.
Let's see.
Reading's
Why
best
didn't they
then.
make more portrait
Allow.
movies? He's the best director ever.
Oh,
She
Who
said
is?
that you're so sweet.
Missy.
Then, Avery says, I would love to be in his movies. She said that would be so cool. He says, me too, if me and you are in his films. She said, I would love that. He says, Anna, I wish I had Porch Up 3D mask because it looks so amazing and scary. Anna says, yeah, I know.
Oh, it's
We have
here.
that for
It's
sale.
under a hat, actually, the mask.
It's actually
Um,
only $4,000 right now.
Wow.
It's
Scott.
not at all.
So, one of the
I
things
make stuff up when I'm drunk.
that...
It's true, and you're
What?
not going to smoke
What?
in here.
One of...
Just pulling it out and getting ready.
Dude,
I like to pull it out.
Don't.
Just get ready.
Scotty.
Talk
So,
about what we're talking about.
one...
So what's happening?
So I appreciate that. One thing that a lot of people don't know is that Melissa Dawn directed her
What's
own
her-
razor sharp film
What she
called
does by
Steve Death Collector, and she
Yeah.
did an incredible job on that fucking
Oh,
movie.
thank you.
But I'm
America's
better,
the best.
and
It's true.
yeah, I think I'm probably gonna do another pork chop in the near future. Not near, but I think we're gonna wait a few years and then kind of come back at it. We'll see what happens. If enough people like the pork chop thing and talk about it and it kind of circulates around, maybe we'll come back at that and do our 5th pork
Yeah.
chop. Which, oh my god, I want to do it. It'll be so good. And hopefully, everybody, comes into the thing
Yeah.
and supports it and makes it happen. But if we don't get support on the project, it's not going to go down. And that goes the same for like the movie that we want to make next
Well, I guess really it's the 4th
is
pork chop movie.
killer. Huh?
It's the 5th in the saga, but it's the 4th pork chop movie. But it'd be
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, it would be to me it would be
Yeah, I guess it would be. Yeah.
Pork Chop 5.
Mhm.
Because Pig Girl definitely is
Sequel.
is Pork Chop 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that we're gonna be
I
able
don't
to
think
do.
we should do. We should say 5. I should just say pork chop the. What we want it
But
to
what
be.
if we do Pig Girl 2 before we do Pork Chop
Pork Chop.
4? 'Cause
No.
It could be a possibility.
Well, Pig Girl 2 is an actual awesome fucking movie.
Yeah.
It's called Pig Girls.
Yeah, you actually wrote that.
Yeah,
so.
and that's our awesome road trip yeah, 2 pig girls, pig girl and Meg, murdering bitches and boys, bitches and boys,
Bitches and boys.
in yeah, on spring break. So that would be an awesome fucking movie to make. But we
I just
also
want some characters to say like, "I'm on spring break," and then just get fucking the fucking head just like flows
and then, yeah,
through the fucking air.
that'd be amazing. And fucking probably the people in that town that hate spring break would be like, "Fuck yeah, murder them children." And then also,
What do you think
the next movie would be great too. What?
What do people want to see? They want to see Pig Girl 2? They want to see
Oh
Pork
yeah,
Chop
put it out.
4?
Put it out in the thing. Ask him, Missy.
What is it?
What do you want to see? Pig Girl 2? Pork Chop 4? That's my question. What's my question for you guys?
That's the question.
What do you want to see? Or do you want to see a mixture of both? You can combine them.
I don't know if we can combine.
Maybe Pork Chop gets brought back to life from this awful water, turns him to a zombie. This Trump water is running down the fucking mountains, turns him to a zombie. He raises up, and he.
Oh my god, no more Trump.
Okay.
So,
What's going on?
Anna, is it cool that he's reading our comments? Yes, that's nice of them. Anna, if he ever FaceTime me, I would go crazy and run to your house as a crazy poor job. And they are so nice. I think they're nice friends. Oh, I think you're a nice friend, Avery. Thank you so much. We love you. And I would be so happy. I would go crazy for weeks if that happened, or months. I believe it. And Pork Chop 4 and a mixture, that would be so cool.
I don't know. I think that I want to do, if we do continue the franchises, I want to do it as 2 different franchises.
Mm-hmm.
I think Pig Girls would be very intriguing, especially with the RV. But that's gonna be fun. So.
Wow. So I want to do, I definitely want to do a Pig Girl sequel and a Pork Chop sequel. But, and then have those be 2. I don't know. They are kind of the same movie, but if we do have the opportunity to do both of them and do 2 beach movies, I'll take 2 beach movies. That means twice as much time at the motherfucking beach. So
look at this. Do this.
So Scott is now apparently going to drink some absinthe for some reason.
Hard up.
Oh no. He's doing it.
I'm doing it.
Miss. He's poured a huge amount.
Are you serious?
He poured a scary amount of absinthe into that.
Like licorice, man.
Fucking
It's so bad. Jesus Christ.
So, if you're still tuning in, Scott Gregg is about to drink a cup of absinthe.
Oh, look how green that shit is. It looks like fucking.
I don't want to see it because
it's
it just reminds
Ghostbuster
me.
green, dude. It's
It reminds me
Ghostbuster
of
green.
every horrible decision we ever made on this fucking thing.
This is disgusting, guys.
Oh,
Why are you
miss.
doing this?
He's going deep. He's going deep into the realm.
That's what happens.
Fucking Jesus.
gross.
So
Okay, whatever.
Scotty's about to drink a lot of absinthe.
Anyway, Anna and Avery, I'm glad you guys tuned in. Thank you for talking with me and for talking with us.
Thank you for saying that I'm the best man and awesome.
I
Also, me
just want to
as
wish
well,
you
right?
well because I think I'm gonna
I'm
go.
not Scott's best man.
Whoa.
Tell you
I
that
thought
right
you
now.
were, but you're moving.
No, I'll be here.
No.
No, I just
Cut you
decided.
out.
No, if you
You
said
said
it's
that.
out
People
there, I'm
don't
just
travel for
gonna be here.
weddings. That's
Okay,
weird.
That's fine.
Anyway, but yeah,
I'm just
thank
gonna
you
be
guys
here,
so
though.
much for chatting with me and with us. I appreciate it.
Way too green.
Yeah.
I'm
We're gonna end the stream before Scott vomits green shit on the table.
yeah,
I
it could be
think.
weird.
Pick a better family than I have, please.
Well, we
Don't
love you
do
guys.
this.
Thank you
Also
so
good
much.
advice. Yeah. See you guys.
Goodbye.